I know it's very difficult, but if you're comfortable, could you share what happened on the evening of June 5th, 2002, when you were 14 years old?
I was a very happy 14-year-old. I was so excited. I was about to go to high school, and for me, high school, at that moment, I thought it was just about the pinnacle of life. Now I know better, but I was so excited, and I remember going home and going to bed that night, and I was going to graduate a couple days later from junior high, and I just remember being so excited as I went to sleep. And then the next thing I remember was waking up to a strange voice, a man's voice, in my bedroom, and I remember feeling someone's hand on my arm trying to pull me out of bed, and I could feel something cold and sharp line across my neck. And when I had first heard this man's voice, I mean, I'd understand the words he said. I just couldn't believe that it was real. I couldn't believe that this was happening in my bedroom, in my house. And then he said it again, and he said, "Don't make a sound. I have a knife at your neck. Get up and come with me." And I remember immediately getting up and going with him. And I remember as he led me out through my house, he whispered and said, "If you scream or yell or try to do anything, and anyone comes, I will kill you, and I will kill anyone who tries to stop me." I remember just being so petrified. I couldn't scream out. I couldn't do anything. I could only do what he told me to do, because that was my, not even guarantee of safety, but that was my only hope at surviving, and what I felt maybe was my family's only hope at surviving, because at that point I didn't know if he'd been through my house already, who was still alive, who was dead. I just didn't know. I remember him taking me far up into the mountains, and I remember stopping him along the way and just asking, "If you're going to rape and kill me, could you please do it here?" I remember him looking back and saying, "Well, I'm not going to rape and kill you yet." And then we kept going, and I remember stopping him again and saying, "Well, don't you realize what you're doing? If you get caught, you'll spend the rest of your life in prison." And I remember him looking back at me and saying, "I know exactly what I'm doing. The only difference is I'm not going to get caught." I remember we ran all night, and we crossed right over the top of the mountain and came down into the camp, and by that time it was morning.